In last few videos we have been discussing about asexual reproduction. In this video we will start discussing sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction will cover all the mechanisms of reproduction in which offsprings are produced by participation of two parents of opposite sex. Sexual mode of reproduction also involves the formation of gametes. In some individuals, the two gametes of opposite sex are found by the different individuals, while in others, both the gametes of opposite sex may be formed by the same individual. We can easily understand the first case, that is, when two gametes of opposite sex are found by the two different individuals of opposite sex. We can take example of human male and female. Gamete produced by the human male is called the sperm, whereas gamete formed by the human female is called the ovum. But can you find out example of an organism in which both gametes of opposite sex are formed by same individual? Do you remember the earthworms? We have discussed them in very detail during the +1. In earthworms, both the gametes of opposite sex are formed by same individual. So, in sexual reproduction, new offspring is formed by participation of two parents, and it involves the formation of gametes of opposite sex. But in sexual reproduction, along with the formation of gametes, it is also essential that gametes from the opposite sex fuse with each other to form the zygote. Here we have another point, that even though if both gametes of opposite sex are produced by same individual, like in the case of earthworm, it is not essential that the gametes from the same individual fuse to form the zygote. That is, male gamete produced by one earthworm fuse with the female gamete produced by the another earthworm. There are various mechanisms which are adopted by these organisms over time that prefer the fusion of gametes from different individuals, although the single individual can produce the both. What are these mechanisms and what are their benefits, that we may discuss in some coming videos. So, the process of sexual reproduction is much elaborated, complex, slow as compared to that of asexual reproduction. The next point we discuss is whether the offsprings produced by sexual reproduction are clones or not. First, let us come back to the definition of clone. The clones are individuals which are morphologically and genetically identical to each other, and they are exact copies of their parents and other offsprings. Now, unlike the asexual reproduction, the offsprings produced by sexual reproduction are not morphologically and genetically identical to each other. Of course, the elephant will give birth to an elephant and rat will reproduce to produce another rat. But the offsprings produced are not exact copies of their parents, because offsprings produced by sexual reproduction are not genetically similar, and that is due to the fusion of male and female gamete during reproduction. Therefore, genetic material of offspring vary as compared to both the parents. The various principles and mechanisms responsible for these variations in genetic makeup from parent to the offsprings generation after generation are explained in second unit. Now we will discuss some differences between sexual and asexual reproduction very briefly. Asexual reproduction involves single parent, whereas sexual reproduction involves two parents of opposite sex. In asexual reproduction, formation of gametes may or may not occur, whereas in sexual reproduction, male and female gametes are formed by same or different individual. In asexual mode of reproduction, fusion of gametes do not occur, whereas in sexual mode, fusion of gametes results in formation of zygote. In asexual reproduction, offsprings are genetically identical, thus called as clones. Whereas in sexual reproduction, offsprings are not genetically identical and cannot be called clones. Asexual reproduction is commonly observed in unicellular organisms and plants and animals with simple organization, whereas sexual reproduction is observed in plants and most of the animals. Asexual method is relatively simple and fast process, whereas sexual reproduction is elaborated, complex and slow process as compared to the asexual reproduction.